Welcome to our video where we talk about rappers who got mixed up in real-life shootouts. Get ready for some jaw-dropping stories where music and trouble meet. So here's the scoop on Gucci Mane, real name Roderick Davis. Back in 2005, things got really intense for him. Gucci was hanging out at a lady friend's place in Decatur, Georgia, when suddenly 4 guys, including one known as Pookie Loc from Lokish Lifestyle, crashed in. They were all up in Gucci's face, and things got heated. Guess what? Gunshots went off, and everyone scattered. Later, they found Pookie Loc's body near a school, and there are still many who remember that moment.
I get emotional about that shit because you gotta understand, I was one of the ones that found Pookie Loc too. You know what I'm saying? I was there when we found Pookie Loc's body. So, you know, that's why I feel a certain way when motherfuckers bring up shit they don't know what they talking about. You know what I'm saying? Don't speak on them if you wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? And my whole thing with Lil Mir, the fake gold mouth, the shit that you saying, I know you ain't talking to nobody from your hood. Cause let's get make it for real. He like my niggas. I'm guilty by association. You feel me? I'm not a gangbanger. I don't. You know what I'm saying? None of that shit. I'm guilty by association. My association runs deep. Cause of niggas that I know.
But here's the twist. Gucci's lawyer said it was all self-defense. Gucci was set up and had to grab a gun just to protect himself.
You don't want to keep dwelling on stuff that you did, you know what I'm saying, last year. I don't think I'm looking forward just looking forward, man, because I'm out of jail, you know what I'm saying? So who want to talk about that or what they abuse they have? I ain't got no beef. Only beef I'm having now is filet mignon, dog. That's all the beef I already got right now.
The case against him was dropped because there wasn't enough proof. And Gucci claimed he was just trying to save his own life. But that's not all. This whole mess fired up a major feud between Gucci Mane and rapper Jeezy. They've been throwing shade at each other in their songs and statements ever since. Now let's talk about G-Dep, or Travell Coleman. In 2010, he did something totally unexpected. He walked right into a police station and confessed to a crime from 1993. When he was just 18, he shot a guy named John Hinkle during a messed up robbery in East Harlem. This case was a total mystery until G-Dep spilled the beans. G-Dep had a tough time with PCP addiction and other problems before he confessed. He even tried to get clean and was married to another hip-hop artist, Letitia, with 5 grandkids.
When you did fall victim, I mean, how bad did it get?
I guess you could, you know what I mean, I guess you could say rock bottom, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. Was it just, I mean, what type of drugs were they? I mean, obviously it wasn't just like weed or something like that. I mean, I've seen people pretty much be...
No doubt. I mean, I was dealing with that PCP, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know what I mean? I was just out there, you know what I mean? You know, PCP, you know, it just leads to all kind of...
Right, mental stuff.
Yeah, promiscuous attitude. You know what I mean? Like, so, but that was basically what it was. You know what I'm saying?
His trial was pretty odd. He admitted his guilt, but still fought the case. His defense said he confessed to free himself from the guilt. In 2012, he got 15 years to life and will be up for parole in 2025. His lawyer said he just wanted to do the right thing. And get this, Diddy, who had signed G-Dep to his label, said he did the right thing by confessing. It's a real head scratcher, right? Confessing to a crime that no one knew he did?
She never had a gun. Bro, I get emotional when I talk about it. I done read that case 100 times, bro. Like, you know, they really took him away because who he was. You know, like, you know, they tainted the jury, bro. Like, when he was going to trial, they was showing his Baton Rouge video with him in the club shooting and shit like that. So, you know, bro, the dude innocent, bro. He didn't kill that little boy, man. He innocent, bro.
Next up is Kid Creole, one of the original members of Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5. In 2017, when he was 62, he got convicted for killing a homeless man named John Jolly. This happened in Manhattan, right near Grand Central Station.
Glover allegedly pulled out a weapon and stabbed the man twice in the chest and once in the stomach.
So on August 1st, 2017, Kid Creole, whose real name is Nathaniel Glover, got into a heated argument with Jolly. Feeling scared, Glover whipped out a kitchen knife he had strapped to his arm and stabbed Jolly twice. An eyewitness saw Jolly collapse, and he later died in the hospital.
from music star to murder suspect. The Kid Creole in handcuffs tonight after allegedly stabbing a homeless man in Manhattan. Good evening, I'm Christine Johnson.
I'm Maurice Dubois.
After the stabbing, Glover tried to cover his tracks. He changed clothes, cleaned the knife at work, and ditched it in a sewer. But guess what? The police found the knife and had surveillance footage linking Glover to the crime. He was arrested and charged the next day. During his trial, Glover said he stabbed Jolly because he was scared of the 55-year-old man, but the jury didn't buy it, and he was convicted of manslaughter.
It might sound harsh to, the average person looking at it, but he killed a bum. I mean, people get killed all the time, and they ain't sitting in jail that long. This is going on the 3rd year now.
So in 2005, rapper Cassidy, real name Barry Reese, got caught up in something big. In Philadelphia, there was this shootout, and a 22-year-old guy named Desmond Hawkins died. It all started from a clash that just spiraled out of control. Here's the catch. The cops found a bunch of ammo at Cassidy's place. And guess what? Some of it matched the shells found at the crime scene. That was a big deal for the case against him.
For my shooters, I keep losing them. They either in the box or cell block, prosecution accusing them.
Fast forward to January 2006, and Cassidy's in court. He gets found guilty of involuntary manslaughter, aggravated assault, and having a weapon. The judge said even though Cassidy didn't start the fight, having all that ammo probably made things worse. He got 11 to 23 months in prison. But with time already served, he could get parole pretty soon. Ultimately, he says you just need to relax.
These rappers gotta relax, bro. True. On these like public platforms, they gotta slow down with what they saying, man.
Now let's talk about Big Lurch, whose real name is Antron Singleton. This story is intense. In 2002, he got a life sentence for a terrible crime, referring to this girl, Tanisha Yesias. Here's what happened. On April 19, 2002, Big Lurch and Tanisha's boyfriend smoked PCP. That drug played a huge part in what came next. Tanisha, just 21, was found in her apartment, her chest ripped open with a broken blade in her and bite marks on her body. When the cops found Big Lurch, he was naked, covered in blood, just staring at the sky. They later discovered he had human flesh in his stomach. Yeah, this guy. In court, in 2003, Big Lurch was found guilty. His defense said he was out of his mind because of the PCP, but the judge wasn't buying it. The court said being high on drugs isn't an excuse for such a horrible crime. The whole thing caused a lot of talk, not just because it was so brutal, but also because people were arguing about the influence of gangster rap music. Tanisha's mom even sued, saying the music industry made Big Lurch act that way to sell records. Here's a wild tale about rapper Cool C, real name Christopher Roney. On January 2nd, 1996, he and a couple of buddies, including his bandmate Steady B and another rapper Mark Canty, decided to rob a bank in Philadelphia. But things turned tragic fast. Officer Laretha Baird was responding to the silent alarm at the bank, and shockingly, Roney shot and killed her. Fast forward to October 30th, 1996, and Roney's caught. He's found guilty of first-degree murder and gets the death penalty. But guess what? He keeps saying he's innocent, even though witnesses, ballistic evidence, and videos say otherwise, even though he did leave an impression on some big rappers.
I pray for guys like Cool C and guys that inspired me to do what I'm doing today. You know what I'm saying? They paved the way for me to do what I'm doing today to feed my family, you know what I'm saying? So I always pay homage to the ones that did it before me.
But wait, there's more. Rodney's execution was supposed to happen in 2015, but a judge put it on hold. So he's still in prison, waiting for all the legal stuff to finish. Now let's talk about Chia Lee Griffith, a rapper from the Bronx. He was big in the early 90s, especially with his hit Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. But things took a dark turn on January 14, 2000. He got into a fight in the Bronx and ended up shooting Sean Raymond, his girlfriend's brother.
It happened so fast. I don't know that he threatened me. You know, he turned around and just was talking shit. Like when I ran up on him, he was like, what? Like, I backed out and clapped him. I remember running, leaving the scene. I remember getting rid of the gun. And I remember thinking, damn, like, fuck my life. Damn, like you dumbed out. Do that for you, like just bugging out.
Chia Lee then went on the run, and the chase was intense. He even ended up on America's Most Wanted twice. Over a year later, in 2001, they finally caught him in New York City. He was convicted for the shooting and had to do 12 years in Sing Sing. This whole thing was a huge shift from his music days to prison life. His story's been a big topic in the hip-hop world, showing how fast life can change. In 2019, a documentary called The Fabulous Chi Ali came out, diving into his journey through music, his conviction, and his life after.
I ended up copping out to 14 years. But I just want to say this too. I want to send my condolences to Sean's family, to the whole Raymond family, to firstly to his son, and because his son. I knew his son good. I watch his son. I babysit his son. To his daughter, to his son's mother rather. Because because of me, her son don't have a father. To my daughter's mother, to Vicky, and to their whole family. I took their brother. That's something that you can't give back. And a lot of people, it was some street shit. We both was in the street, so I didn't take it that seriously then. I took it as, well, that's what happens. But looking back, I realized that, I messed up not only my life and the lives of so many people, from my family to his family, and I do want to send my humblest apologies. And that's one of the worst things you could do, because life is one of the few things you can't get back.
So, P. Cold Chain, this rapper who used to work with the Neptunes, got caught up in some serious trouble back in 2008 in Philadelphia. He was connected to a really grim incident where 2 people were shot. One of the victims, a young dude, didn't survive and died at the hospital. The details about the other victim weren't too clear initially. Cold Chain, whose real name is Amin Porter, was arrested not long after the shooting. But here's the thing. He wasn't charged immediately because the police were still deep into investigating what actually happened. This wasn't his first time having issues with the law, and it really put a dent in his music career. He ended up spending 14 years in jail for his involvement in this case. Now he's out, and it seems like he's trying to turn things around.
Change somebody else's life. Like, that's the most fulfilling thing you can do.
I heard about that.
Like, the most fulfilling thing you can do, right? Because you always want to feel some semblance of wholeness.
Right.
He's even hinted at making new music, looking to start fresh after all that time behind bars. Now let's talk about Anna Ray Brown, better known as X-Rated. His story's a mix of music and the law. Back in 1992, during some tough gang times in Sacramento, California, Brown got tangled up in a gang-related home invasion. A woman named Patricia Harris was killed during this. It was a time when California was really cracking down on crime. Brown, part of the 24th Street Garden Block Crips back then, was charged with being an accomplice to murder. And here's a twist. His rap lyrics were used against him in court. They said his song, Still Shootin', kind of predicted the killing. Using rap lyrics in trials has been a big debate, especially with black rappers. Brown ended up with a 31-year sentence. But check this out. He kept making music in prison. He even recorded albums over the phone with a smuggled recorder. He ran his record label from behind bars, survived a stabbing in a prison riot, and really started to think about his life and actions. After 26 years, Brown got out in 2018, thanks to some help from the Menendez brothers who he met in prison. Since then, Brown's back to music, signing with some big names. Let's talk about C. Murder, whose real name is Corey Miller. Right now, he's serving a life sentence for something that happened in 2002. It was January 12th at a nightclub called the Platinum Club in Harvey, Louisiana. A 16-year-old fan, Steve Thomas, snuck in with a fake ID just to see C. Murder perform. But things went south. Steve got into a fight with C. Murder's crew, and during the scuffle, C. Murder allegedly shot Steve right through the heart. Just a week later, C. Murder was arrested and charged. In 2003, he was found guilty. But wait, that conviction got tossed because of some issues with the witnesses. But in 2009, he was tried again and ended up with a life sentence. But it looks like he was always easy to blame.
I paid for lawyers, all these other people, man. I love UC. Well, pay for my lawyer. Me and my brother gonna get into it. We've been doing that. Let me tell you, C was a wild boy. Yeah. I used to have to tie C up after I beat him up when we was little. Because he gonna get a gun or a knife or something. You know what I'm saying? I had to tie him up to my protect himself. I gotta protect my look. I gotta make sure I tie him up because till my parents come. You know what I'm saying? And then we'll work it out. But I love it, man. Me and C will be mad at each other and beat somebody up the next 5 minutes. Get into it like, man, hold up. C wild, but C got a lot of love in his heart. Yes. He got a lot of love in his heart. Y'all don't realize, man, we got a lot of good brothers, but you got to imagine how it go on the streets. When it get real, it get real. Yeah. You know, I stopped C from doing a lot of stuff, man, to where, you know, and that's why a lot of people don't like to be around me. Cause I ain't no yes man. Even my own family. So they want me to be, yeah, man, do this.
Recently, some key witnesses took back what they said, claiming cops pressured them to point the finger at C. Murder. Despite this, he's still in prison. Even celebrities like Kim Kardashian have spoken up, saying there's not enough real proof against him. Even Boosie supported him. What a ride through some wild stories, right? If you're as amazed as we are, hit that like button, subscribe for more, and don't forget to drop your thoughts in the comments. Stay tuned for more mind-blowing content.